So Google just leaked their new AI video model, and it might be one of the most powerful AI video models we've ever seen. So this model is called Gemini Omni, and nobody was really supposed to know about this, but this weekend, some users actually got access by accident, and the first generations have already escaped onto the internet. So this leak is pretty interesting because the entire thing started with a simple tweet. So literally a few days ago, on Twitter, some random user who didn't even have that much followers opened up the Gemini app and started poking around the video generation tab. He actually noticed something really weird. There was one line of text that was actually different from everything else. So while it is pretty hard to see, it actually does say powered by Omni. I know there's a watermark here from testing catalog, but essentially when logging in, the user was able to see powered by Omni. So this of course triggered a what the hell is going on here, because that's not usually what you see. And so of course the user decided to share this on Twitter, to which Twitter erupted and realized that, wait a minute, Google might actually be releasing something very soon. So essentially, after that screenshot, it essentially goes viral on Twitter. Everyone starts talking about Google's new model, which is of course Google Omni. Now, here's the thing, okay? We don't actually know what the hell Omni is. And of course, there is so much speculation because when you think about it, the current model that is running under the hood on the Google Gemini application is actually VO 3.1. So that actually runs under the Gemini app under an internal codename called Toucan. So this is what is powering the current videos that we see. Now, this user was actually able to generate 2 videos. So I'm actually going to show you what those videos are. And then I'm going to dive into something that I think you all want to know. So here's one of the first demos. This is a professor writing out a mathematical proof for trigonometric identities on a traditional chalkboard, explaining the step he is currently on in the equation. And I mean, when you look at the text, when you look at the way that everything lines up, I think this is definitely a very, very impressive video model. It's most certainly definitely better than VO 3.1 in its current form, and I'd argue that it does compete with the likes of Seedance 2. Now, I took the liberty of testing how well this performs compared to Seedance 2 with the exact same prompt. So you guys are going to be able to test whether or not you think this model is actually better than Seedance 2 or it just competes. So when we look at Seedance 2 right here, you can see that the quality of this is definitely actually matching what Google have produced. And I would say that it actually is pretty hard to distinguish which one is better than the other. Some might prefer Seedance, some might prefer Google's new Omni model. I think either way, it's clear that we're approaching a new frontier. You can see there's another prompt here, and this is where the demo gets even more interesting. So this is the prompt from the new Google Omni model. This was the second video that they were able to generate. And the prompt was essentially a scene with 2 men at a table seaside at an upscale restaurant on an outdoor deck seating at a circular table, white, nice tablecloth, all the fancy accessories, spoons, forks, fancy napkins, centerpiece. One man is distinguished, a mature African-American man in his 50s with a short beard and confident posture. And I'm not going to, go into too much detail. The point here is that this prompt does show exactly what goes on here. And of course, this is the infamous Will Smith spaghetti eating benchmark. So, I mean, I think it's pretty clear to say that this is a model that, I mean, it's pretty much up there. But I think it's also super interesting as well to see the Seedance comparison, because if we're looking at what the top video models are going to be, Seedance is most certainly going to be up there competing with Google Omni, and this is just in terms of video. So we look at Seedance 2.0, we can literally see here that 2 men start sitting down and start eating their food. And once again, this looks super high quality. Honestly, I think that both models are basically on par with each other. Now, of course, when you have to realize the quality that you're getting here, you need to understand that with good quality comes expensive pricing. So one of the things that I managed to see after some research was the fact that the usage of this model looks like it's going to be absolutely insane. So on a pro plan, okay, those 2 videos used 86% of the user's entire usage. That is pretty crazy. So, I mean, that's the Gemini AI Pro plan, the one that most people already have. And that's, of course, $20 a month. And so 86% of his usage, 2 videos gone. That is wildly expensive. That's way more than VO 3.1, way more than Sora 2, and that's way more than Google has ever put in front of a consumer. So when you can think about it, for context, VO 3.1 on the same plan, you can run for probably 15 to 20 generations a day before you hit limits. Sora 2, if it was still up, could probably let you run several dozen short clips. But Omni, 2 prompts and you're basically done for the day, which means that it kind of tells us something about this model. It's probably, you know, enormous, and the compute cost per generation is also enormous. So whatever architecture is running under the hood is probably way bigger than Veo 3.1, which means it's probably not just an iteration, it's a bit of a step change. And, you know, when we think about this, this actually makes sense because it's been a while since Google have released a new model, especially a video one based on the Veo framework. So, I mean, when, you know, like none of this information is confirmed, but when we think about it, if you are a creator hopping on the Pro plan, hoping you're going to get unlimited Omni for $20 a month, then that is clearly going to not happen. So it looks like you're going to be getting a new model that's going to cost a decent amount for most people if you want more usage. And I think Google is probably going to clearly have usage limits so that people don't overspend their compute budgets. Now, one of the thing about this Google Omni thing is that I want you guys to remember this, okay? So this, of course, is GPT-4o. And why am I talking about GPT-4o in a Google Gemini video? Well, most people don't remember that when we actually look at the list of AI releases, if people are wondering what the hell is Google Omni, we can actually look back to GPT-4o because GPT-4o, the O in GPT-4o stands for GPT Omni. So you can see right here, GPT-4o, O for Omni, is a step towards a much more natural human-computer interaction as it accepts any combination of text, audio, image, and video and generates a combination of text, audio, and image outputs. And it can respond to audio inputs in as little as 232 milliseconds with an average of 320 milliseconds, which is similar to human response in a conversation. So essentially what this was, for those of you who forgot, was that this was an entire Omni model that was basically you could put anything in and you can get anything out. There were tons and tons of demos that you can like watch on the website of people literally live streaming with the model, interacting, talking to it, doing a lot of fun things. But I think, you know, if you want to look at all of those crazy visual capabilities, you can look at all of these ones where, I mean, right now, this doesn't seem that crazy, but at the time, this was pretty crazy where you had multi-text rendering. You had all of these things like character design. You could have the character move around. But I remember one of the craziest things was that GPT-4o never actually released as it was meant to, because the version of GPT-4o that we got was essentially one that was a little less compute intensive. I mean, this is GPT-4 and GPT-4o. You can see that GPT-4o was a little bit better, but it's clearly an Omni model where you were able to do absolutely anything to it. Now, I think it's going to be interesting here. Are Google going to actually release the true Omni model that we were supposed to get back in the day? Because whilst you might think the GPT real-time that you have now is the model that was GPT-4o, and if you go back and use it, that was never the model that was actually released. The GPT-4o, we just never got the one that was demoed. The changes are a bit small, but trust me, if you watch the demos and you look at the GPT-4o that you know, the GPT real-time that you use now, it was just completely different. So I do wonder if Google will be releasing a new Omni model that is basically just everything in, anything out. And that might seem like it from the name given. Now, when we look at, you know, why Omni matters, you need to know how competitive the video landscape is. I mean, when we look at Seedance 2.0, this is currently the top model across all benchmarks in terms of video. You've got Alibaba 1 2.7, which is text to video, image to video, video edit, and reference to video with audio synced motion at 1080p. This is the most feature complete model on the market. And then of course, we've got Kling 3.0, which is the Asia-led wave with standard Pro and O3 variants. And then we've got Sora 2, which is of course now closed down. So when we think about Veo 3.1, which is here, this is basically cinematic camera, pretty affordable, pretty good, and it's got decent text rendering. So, I mean, if we think about Omni, the model, if it actually is going to be coming, other labs are clearly going to be falling behind because Google is going to sit at the top of the list when it comes to video model generation. So WAN and Kling are good, but they're not really at the Omni model just yet. The only one that's really competing is going to be Seedance. So here's what I'm thinking, okay? Veo 4, I don't know if Veo 4 is still going to be around, because if it was launching, and I could be wrong here, I'm not sure that they would be launching a new public brand called Omni right next to that before the keynote. So I'm pretty sure that they would be protecting that reveal at all costs. Veo 4 would be the hero. Veo 4 would be on the stage. Instead, they're letting Powered by Omni leak into production code right now, and users are already generating with it before Google I/O has been released. If you don't know, that's Google's event. It's going to be coming up very soon, but they're going to release a bunch of different AI features and show us what they've been working on. So, I mean, it looks like VO4 is not going to be getting its own stage moment. This looks like it's going to be getting absorbed into the Omni model. And the whole point of the name Omni is to basically kill the split. VO for video, Imagen for stills, Nano Banana for images. Those are 3 different brands that you have to manage, 3 different pipelines, 3 different teams. Maybe, who knows, Google has decided to collapse all of it into one name, one model, every modality. And so if we're trying to predict what's actually going to happen at the Google conference, maybe there's scenario 1 where Sundar Pichai comes out and says VO4 is here. And if that happens, it's a straight rebrand, nothing fundamentals change. Maybe the leaks were fake and overblown. Scenario 2, they announce Omni as a separate product alongside VO, 2 parallel tracks, which is useful but not historic. Creators can get a new tool, Google gets another brand, and life goes on. Or scenario 3, Google walks on stage, Sundar walks on stage and basically says, guys, this is the first model that does everything in one place and generates a video and image all from one prompt to live on stage. And he shows conversational video editing in real time, and he drops a new pricing plan. So if scenario 3 happens, that is basically going to mean that Google is just going to leapfrog absolutely everyone in a single keynote. And that might be one of the biggest moments of AI in 2026. So I do think that it's probably going to be scenario 3 because that definitely has the impact to take the world by storm. And I mean, it will be certainly interesting to see what actually occurs. And I'll definitely be watching and looking out for Google I/O to see what model is released.